Today was a slow day in my studio. It was raining outside and I was just dreaming of some Maggie. Yeah, of course, I had that Maggie, and now it's time to go ahead and paint something. Now, what is that something I was thinking? And then it came to my mind. Let's go ahead and paint some of the houses and their reflection. Though I saw those kind of things outside, but I just thought not to replicate the same things and go ahead with something of European touch. So, adding some of my Naples yellow on the houses that I did draw initially. Then, going ahead with my sky, I usually go ahead with two colors of my sky. One is my bright violet, and another I go ahead with either the endonthine blue or else the ultramarine. Those are my go-to colors. This is more of wet on wet approach that I am doing, and the particular sketchbook that I'm using is from Vibrant Parcels. It is 185 GSM, 100% cotton, 8 by 8 inch sketchbook from Vibrant Parcels. Of course, it's made out of Arches paper and it is cold pressed. Adding some of my greens in few of the areas and then blending it with the blue, that is the water. Along with it, while we go towards the bottom, we will add some of the further greens. Let the paper dry off before you go ahead with some of your Naples yellow. Now I'm going ahead with a really light value of Naples yellow. Added some of my browns, but I wanted the browns to be soft and nice, so it's always great to go with a clear wash of water. For this reason, you should always keep two jars of water really handy and then blend it with some of your sap green. Sap green is a beautiful color. You can also go ahead with olive green if you are not used to much of sap green. I think you can also do this with the help of some of your brown into the dark green that you have and get a color which is similar to the one that we are using right now. Darkest value is very important to show the depth, and hence I am going ahead with the darkest value of our sap green, which means that I have a lot more value in terms of the pigments are more in my brush compared to what I had earlier. Okay, again, the darkest value of our paints that we are going to add along with the dark green. I always like to use more of muted greens when you see me adding it towards this part of the green area. In fact, I like to have a background wash of my light green and then go with these muted values on top of it. I will have the reflection of these houses in the water, and I'm going ahead with some of my Naples yellow in few of the areas and some of my brown in the other areas. I'm not going to actually add exactly the same kind of colors and add the same kind of lines as it is a moving water. It's not absolutely calm water, and hence you will see some of the ripples that we are also going to add in a soft way. The whole of the painting is done in a really, really soft manner. We are not going to add any hard edges in most of the areas when we are doing our background wash 1 or background wash 2, and even while we are defining the houses there will be more of these hard edges, whereas all the soft edges will be there for the water as well as for the land area that is in green or grasslands, whatever you want to say. Adding some of my browns and showing those ripples in some of the areas. I am randomly adding this brown. There is no particular thought process that I did go ahead with. Mixing some of my color, which is my paints gray and ultramarine. You can also go ahead with any other blue of your choice that is available with you. It can be cobalt blue or it can be any other blue like your indon blue as well as paints gray. Some of my yellow green for the grassland, which is just very, very near to me, adding some of my darkest value of green, and this green is majorly a mix of my ultramarine as well as sap green to get a really dark value of color. Once I am done with that, let the area completely dry off, and we are going ahead with our last layer for our greens. There is always some water that I am adding while I paint the soft approach of the trees in the background. Along with it, blend few of the areas wherever it is necessary. I will go ahead and add some of the clear water for my mountains. Mountains is not that important for this painting, but still having a good mountain really adds a lot more beauty to this painting. Okay, adding some of our blue and some of the darkest value of green. I am blending the colors too in few of the areas wherever it is necessary and not leaving it as such. Once you are done with this part, we are going ahead with our brown for the darker value of these houses. It's important to show the light and shadow, and I am just adding some of our beautiful and important windows. Now, I like to keep it soft as such, and hence I am going ahead with my thinnest brush to add those while the paper is absolutely wet. Adding some of our darkest value even for the roof area. The size of the brush is size 3, and I am going ahead with darkest value of brown and letting it bleed on the paper. Then going ahead with one shade lighter and adding it on the left side. The left side of these small houses are basically the lighter side, or the ones on which the sunlight is falling, and the other side is the one where there is shadow. So we will be going ahead and trying to show that even in our painting. For the roofs, either you can go ahead with the brown color, you can go ahead with even the Payne's gray color, or else the orange color. These are few of the colors which I have got in my mind, and I do use these for my paintings. When you use your damp brush on damp paper, you will see that the colors will flow and they will move a lot. But with that, you need to also keep in mind that we are not going to make it bleed a lot. If it bleeds a lot, what happens is that the whole painting will go for a toss and the colors will move into each other, which is not the idea of the whole painting. It is always great to change the values even in a small area. That way, you can frankly add a lot more intensity, as well as the whole of the painting gets a lot more depth. I always like to do it, and very often you will see me doing it in most of the places. I am now going ahead and painting the darker values of the other areas, just adding some of the shadow area and then some of the less important parts. I would say that everything in a painting is not important, and few of the areas we will give more importance compared to the other areas. It's time to add some of our branches for the trees that we have in the foreground. I will not add branches in the darker areas. I will just add branches in the lighter parts of it. There are small and thinner ones. You can add even the bigger and the darker ones for the other parts. If you have larger trees, that can work for you. But since we see this at a distance, and hence we are going ahead with the very thin lines and very small trees and shrubs in the background. So whatsoever it is, you can say that way. Okay, detailing is important. Going with the last few details which you see, and once this is done, we will just go ahead and let the paper dry off before removing the tape at an angle. I always love to do these small exercises on my sketchbook. They're not absolutely small, but it really gives me a lot more understanding of what I want to do, and I can use both the sides of the paper. You will see me using every bit and part of my sketchbook. It's been the norm from when I have started painting, and I don't waste even a part or even a page of the sketchbook. I like to keep it simple, easy, interesting. I keep learning from my mistakes that I do in these sketchbooks, as well as use the positives that I've learned for my future painting and classes. You can go ahead and choose my classes either from www.vibrantparcels.com, or else you can go ahead and check out my classes on Skillshare. I have more than 45 classes available on Skillshare. Every year, I do even conduct live workshops, and most of the updates do come up on www.vibrantparcels.com. You can choose a course, you can choose a sketchbook, you can choose workshops. Every detail is available on Vibrant Parcels. Okay, remove the tape at an angle and have a final look at the painting. Do subscribe to my channel and leave a comment if you like the video.